As we welcome in and say happy Halloween to Jeff Paterson, a belated happy birthday to him as well. Our Canucks reporter, the host of RInkwide Vancouver. They were at it last night after a 4-3 shootout victory for the Vancouver Canucks over the St. Louis Blues. Good day, Jeff. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you for the birthday wishes. My birthday has been overshadowed for 22 years now in my household, though it's my daughter's birthday today, a Halloween baby. So happy birthday to Caitlin. And yes, my birthday, a mere afterthought. But that's
Do you think Shannon planned
that? He works his birthday every year. He just works the Canucks game. That's how it rolls.
I think Shannon may have planned that, seeing like, I don't want to have to celebrate Jeff for too long here. I'm going to spit the baby out now.
Now that you mention it, that checks. Yeah.
Hey, Jeff, what is your best explanation behind Kiefer Sherwood here? And are we looking at the next Alex Burrows in this market?
Boy, second part first, I would say no, because the runway here. I mean, this is a guy that's 30 and a late bloomer at the NHL level, but a guy that put up gaudy numbers in the American Hockey League. Like, it was in there somewhere. How do I explain 9 goals in the first dozen games? I don't. I'm along for the ride right now and enjoying being part of the Kiefer Sherwood's orbit. He's shooting 35%. Like, that's just not going to last. But I do think there's an underrated shot there. I think we've already seen that a few times. And I think last night was a perfect example of the different ways, the many ways that he could beat you, right? The power play goals in tight, blue paint, going to the net, crashing the crease, all that kind of stuff. The second one, just a brilliant breakaway. And it's already the second time we have seen him deke a goaltender out of his gear. So there's confidence, there's poise, and there's finish there. And then the third one is this wrist shot that he has scored on a couple of times already. And I think maybe it catches some goaltenders by. So that was short side on Binnington up under the bar. A really nice shot off a broken play there. So, there's more skill than he's given credit for. I think this is a guy that made his way into the National Hockey League as a grinder and a plugger, and the Canucks were attracted to him by the way that he finished every check in that playoff series against Nashville. But I think he was looking for an opportunity to spread his wings a little bit. And my goodness, now with 28 goals as a member of the Vancouver Canucks last year and already here. And it is wild to just wake up today and look at NHL.com or whatever stats page you want and sort by goal scorers. And there are a handful of 9-goal guys, and he is one of them. And then on top of that, it's the no assists. And I'm not knocking him right now. I mean, it's just an incredible run. But it is pretty funny to see 9 goals and no apples.
Because you mentioned it, I've never really examined his AHL production. And you are absolutely right. The last 3 dips of the toe in the AHL for Kiefer Sherwood, going back to COVID year with the Colorado Eagles, 10 goals in 10 games, 16 points in those 10 games. Gets sent down the next year as well, 36 goals, 75 points in just 57 games for Colorado. And then most recently, when he's in the Nashville organization down to Milwaukee, 22 goals in 42 games. I mean, those are really good rates. And you're wondering if any of those organizations are ruining, maybe not when he got called up, because he got NHL looks with all those organizations, Jeff. You wonder if they rue sort of how they deployed him when he got there. And I don't have that in front of me, but maybe they just didn't give him the best looks to show that he can do it at the NHL level.
Yeah, this is not a highly pedigreed junior player that was always on the fast track. And I think he's a guy that had to scratch and claw for everything that he has been able to achieve in professional hockey. And you're right. I think somewhere along the line got pigeonholed into this, well, he's just a grinder, skates well so he can get into the forecheck, and he's fearless in the way that he plays. But under all of that, under the hood, there was a hockey player that was waiting to burst out. And so does Nashville regret letting him walk for $1.5 million? My goodness, the smoldering tire fire that is the Nashville Predators right now. It's crazy to think that they nickeled and dimed. But at the same time, I mean, there's this adage in hockey about, don't overpay for bottom 6 forwards. And this is the conundrum that the Canucks are running into headlong here. And I waffle on this, guys. And I know in our business there isn't supposed to be waffling, but you love everything about what Kiefer Sherwood is bringing right now. And then you say to yourself, yeah, but he's 30 years old. And then you look at 9 goals and you say, yeah, but he's shooting 35%. It cannot last. And you say, but he's earned a raise, and he has. But how many guys into their 30s can the Canucks commit to long-term? And when you get the long-term deals, you're generally getting trade protection as well. Besser, DeBrusk, Garland. Now you're going to add Kiefer Sherwood. And what has this mix added up to for the Vancouver Canucks? Like, if these guys had produced all sorts of great playoff runs and everything else, you'd think, okay, keep the group together. And yet there's sort of this push here to get him signed today. And I guess I understand it, because if you sign him today, it's probably going to be cheaper than it will be tomorrow or down the road if he continues to go at the rate that he's going at. But I do fear for sort of the big picture of the Vancouver Canucks. How many of these guys into their 30s can you have under your tent, especially when this group really has amounted to very little in the grand scheme?
Yeah, and we're asking that on our Redwoods Golf Course poll question. And I don't know. Like, he's 30, guys, so what's the max term we're going here? 4 years? Is that... You want to get out of players before 35, right? So 4 years is probably, let's work it backwards. Let's workshop it. So 4 years is probably the max term you want to go on the player.
Absolutely.
Is that fair, Jeff?
Yeah.
Or would you go longer?
From a team standpoint, sure, but the player gets a say in this, right? And so if he goes to the open market today, he's probably getting 5x5 or more from some team out there that's going to overpay him, especially in an escalating cap world. Should it be the Vancouver Canucks? And that is literally the $20 to $25 million question. And I'm sure they're wrestling with it for the reasons that you point out there. But at the same time, if he and his agent think, forget it, like, they're undervaluing me, they went down this road with Brock Besser all of last year, we're going to take ourselves to the open market. And then what? So then, of course, it brings into this idea, if the season starts to slip away, is he merely trade bait for somebody else? And every team that's going to the playoffs could use a Kiefer Sherwood the way that he is playing right here, right now. And I'm not trying to run him out of town. Please hear me when I say that. But I do think that the Canucks have to sort of take the long view, broad view approach here with this player. And so if they could commit to 4 years at 4.5, I'd probably be willing to look long and hard at something like that. But I just wonder if, this is a guy that has been on the cheap for the most part. Like, this is going to be his opportunity, right? And you can't begrudge a player. He's earned a raise. That much I think we all have to be in agreement on. It's just at what figure and for how many years and what kind of trade protection, and does it happen here or does it happen elsewhere?
I'm the son of an estimator, and the one thing my dad taught me was there are certain numbers that have a psychological effect on people. 4 years, $5 million per, $20 million total. I would think that probably gets. You put that in front of him right now.
Oh, I think he sounds that.
A 30-year-old guy who had been in the AHL. No?
Nope.
Why not?
So. I just think
too
that's
rich.
Too rich for I just
like if he scores 30 goals, you're gonna be way above that, huh?
Yeah.
You're willing to wait? Okay.
I mean,
as he mentioned earlier.
I mean, this is a Vancouver Canucks team that needs to get younger, that needs to acquire assets in the important positions.
Well,
does he become an asset to trade for an important position?
Well, here's the thing. This series,
Matt, you say a 30-goal scorer, and you think, come on, 30-goal scorer. This guy's never been a 20-goal scorer, but he's at 9 right now through a dozen games.
That's it. 21 and 70.
You do exactly. Do the hockey math, and basically just has to score at the rate that he did last year.
Yeah.
Get to 30 goals now. It's not out of the question. I mean, at some point, doesn't he have to get an opportunity higher in the lineup? Like, I know that he's producing sort of as a third-line guy, and like, he played 24 minutes last night. Like, that's not third-line minutes. And given the circumstances and Besser leaving early and all those types of things, second time already this year that Kiefer Sherwood's been up over 23 minutes in the game. But I do wonder, like, not only is he scoring and is your best goal scorer, but you want to reward guys that are playing hard and playing their asses off. And so I do wonder at some point if, like, he has to. We saw it a little bit last year, but I do wonder if he has to get an opportunity higher in the lineup here, just based on the way that he is performing. And so a lot of that depends who's available, the coaching staff, what kind of lineup are they cobbling together on a given night here. But no, all of a sudden the idea, like, blasting out of the gates the way that he has, 30 goals, like, it's not crazy talk at all.
Okay, and of course the alternative, if this season goes to pot and you're probably going to lose Quinn Hughes at that stage of the game, then you've got a significant trade chip at the deadline in Sherwood, not to mention a significant trade chip in Quinn Hughes. Of course, that depends on the owner allowing all of that. Let's move on because Evander Kane had exactly the type of game that Evander Kane needed and exactly the type of game that we have been talking about with Evander Kane. Your thoughts on Evander, who should have had his first goal for his hometown Vancouver Canucks, Jeff?
Yeah, I don't know if you can see it here on the live stream, but I've got a few fewer hairs this morning than I did last night because I continue to pull my hair out over goaltender interference. And I basically now have given up, and I'll just sit back and wait for the decision of the war room. I didn't see enough to overturn a goal. That felt like a Hail Mary from Jim Montgomery as his team trailed with 2 minutes to go. And yeah, I mean, for all the angst in the market about Evander Kane and what he's doing and when he's going to score, he finally gets a goal. It looks like it's going to be the go-ahead and probably the game winner, and then it gets taken off the board. So I feel from there, playing a lot, again, without Besser. They were down a key forward, so guys had to step up at almost 20 minutes in ice time. Really liked the play that he made on the first Sherwood goal in the power play, though, to take the passing option away, essentially, from Jordan Binnington, who handcuffs Justin Falk in the corner, and Kane follows through there, pressures the defenseman, puck squirts free and onto the stick of Sherwood. All 5 of his assists have been primary assists, so impossible to say that he hasn't been able to contribute. And 5 assists in 12 games, like half a point a game. If he finished with 40 points, I think that's kind of the ballpark I had for Evander Kane. It's just that they've all been helpers to this point, and he has yet to find the back of the net. So, yeah, I just thought it was a really gritty effort from everybody. Like, it's impossible to look at anybody in that Canuck lineup and say they didn't pull their weight last night. And was it a perfect game? No, they were outshot badly, gave up 2 more power play goals. Like, there are long-term concerns. But in the here and now, this is about survival, and they did more than that last night. And Evander Kane, I thought, was a part of it. So yeah, I think some forward momentum here, steps in the right direction, and we'll see if he can follow it up with another solid performance in Mini on Saturday.
Brock Besser did not survive, but he apparently, I mean, the coach has confidence he's
survive.
Back. The coach, thankfully, the coach's confidence he's good to go tomorrow, but. I mean, when that happens that early and you're declared done for the game, I mean, that must be one hell of a welt.
Yeah, a couple of bags of frozen peas in the team freezer there, whatever it took. I think collectively, anybody that saw that, and again, just given everything else that they've been through, of course, right? First minute of the hockey game, friendly fire, from 10 feet away, like Besser just happens to be at the top of the circle as DPD's blasting. It's not like he's standing in front of the net 45 feet away, so add to the impact. And you could tell immediately he's in distress, needed some help off the ice there. So the fact that he didn't come back by the end of the first period, I kind of figured his night was done. And let's hope that he rests up and recovers here. And moves forward, because the last thing, obviously, that this team can afford is yet another injury to a top of the lineup guy. And so, again, I go back to the next man up, whatever we want to call it. There is this mindset right now that this is their lot in life. Nobody's going to feel sorry for them. They may as well just plow forward here. And they're facing flawed opponents on this entire road trip. And yes. I think that's the one thing that they did have going for them. The Blues are in a bad way. Minnesota might be worse, and then Nashville is all sorts of trouble internally. So, there are points to be had here. And so to get the first 2, they can just kind of exhale for a night and get after it against Minnesota. So let's hope. Brock wants to play in Minnesota. It's always been a big deal for him. The story is well known, so we don't have to document it again. But of all the places, that he wants to be in the lineup against the Wild on Saturday.
It would be pretty crazy for them to sweep this road trip and for them to come home, given the season that they've had with the injury. I mean, it's not crazy to suggest they could have a 6-3 road record.
Well, they went 3 in a row on the road to begin the last one. So, yeah, and frozen peas were selling Besser short, I think, Jeff. Moving right along.
You want edamame?
Mm-hmm.
You'd prefer edamame, a bag of edamame? Or?
Frozen peas, they're malleable. That's why people use bags. It can fit wherever they need to go. That's
in this
nooks and crannies.
In this context, peas.
Well, your mind went there.
Okay. Lankinen, another guy who needed a game, got a game. When the Snuggerud goal goes in, Jeff, I'm sitting there thinking, oh, man. Because we talked about it on yesterday's show, those sort of mid chances, not the high dangers, but the ones where, okay, occasionally they're going to score from there, but you do want to have the lion's share of saves in that spot. And when that Snuggerud goal went in, great shot. Jimmy Snipes, not taking anything away from him, but you do want to save most of those. I was a little worried for Lankinen, and I was a little worried for the state of the Canucks backup goaltending, putting so much money into it and thinking this could be a Thatcher Demko show going forward. He was excellent from there.
It took you until the early stages of the second to have those feelings? I thought the first goal that went right through him, I was like, oh, no. They lose Besser, and then a couple of minutes later, they're down 1-0, start of the road trip, all the things that we talked about going against them. So I had some concerns then. I didn't love the Snuggerud goal either for the reasons you mentioned, but then full credit to him. He dug in, battled back, made some really big saves. Not a whole lot that he could do on the P.S. Suter rebound on the power play. And then the shootout thing is becoming like the legend of Kevin Lankinen now, which is really incredible and sort of understated. But, I will tell you this about Lankinen and shootouts. I have seen it. I've had teammates tell me, and I don't think I've ever heard this about another goaltender that's played here in Vancouver, but like he will ask his teammates to finish up occasional practices with shootout attempts, that this is something that he actually wants to work on. And you never know when the next shootout's going to happen, right? It's not something you can't prepare for. Tomorrow night we're going to go to a shootout. But I think it's one of those things where he doesn't want rust to build up and kind of just wants to constantly have that feel of facing NHL shooters in a shootout. Gives him a sense of his own motion and the way that he approaches things. So pretty unique and something that I'm not sure a lot of people are aware of, but this is a guy that has asked teammates to finish up practices with shootout attempts, and the proof, as they say, is right there. 7 for 7 this year, and basically unbeatable over his National Hockey League career when it comes to facing guys one-on-one in the skills competition.
Well, he's never played on a super great team. He knows that he will probably go to some shootouts, right? I mean, this is a team that's going to play in tight games at best, and if he can be near perfect, I mean, those are the bonus points that the Canucks didn't get last year, Jeff, and they had him incidentally, but I mean, it's been a great start in that category, and that is a path to the playoffs. We talked about that for the Vancouver Canucks, is to drastically turn around the past 60-minute points for the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, and to be clear, they won more shootouts than they lost last year. I think they were 3-2 in shootouts. Their downfall was overtime games that were settled in 3-on-3.
And did they play for the shootout last night? Because that was the worst overtime I maybe have ever seen.
Right. Again, on a night where they deserve a ton of credit, those 5 minutes of overtime, that was a small D disappointment. Not a single shot on goal. Certainly didn't feel like they were thinking a whole lot of offense there. So wouldn't that be something if this is the new Canucks that are playing for the shootout now? Again, you don't have to use. They use seven different forwards and 3 defensemen. So it really was just continuing to roll lines through overtime. And Lankinen was forced to make a couple of stops, including a nice one off P.S. Suter there. So the Blues had an opportunity at the very least. But you're right, overtime itself didn't amount to much. But then you get to the shootout, and as we so often see in shootouts, all it takes is one goal. And last night, with Lankinen holding his end of the bargain at one end of the ice, finally Jake DeBrusk was the guy that cashes in, and the Canucks skate away with a victory here. So, just the one game so far decided in overtime. That was the other night against Edmonton. But beyond regulation, they are 3-0, and it's impossible to be any better than that in the opportunities that they've had in those games that have been extended.
Yeah, no Hughes, no Garland. You might be better off in shootout than in overtime, actually. 3-on-3 right now.
No Hedl,
great stuff, Jeff. Thank you for this. We will catch up next week after the Canucks in Minnesota on Saturday and Nashville again on Monday. Enjoy your Halloween, and happy birthday, Caitlin.
I will pass that along, and I thank you. And what an incredible sports weekend. So we'll all get back at it on Monday. It's going to be fascinating to break down everything that we all consume here over the next bunch of.
Hey, let me just ask you, since you have a well-known tradition on Boxing Day of taking all the Christmas decorations down. He tweets it every year. T-Mart looks forward to that tweet every year.
Yeah.
Do the Patersons decorate for Halloween? And how quickly will the decorations be down tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I mean, yes, we do. We have a pretty decent display. Our street actually this year is incredible.
Is that a Shannon thing? Is that a Jeff thing? Is that a kids thing?
It's very much a Shannon. I had nothing to do with Halloween decorations this year. But no, we've got a decent display out front. And we've got some guy that works in the movie industry, I think in props and stuff, at the end of our street. He built like this incredible skeletons skiing. Like you have to see it. But he built a chair. He built a chairlift that hangs from his tree. Like it looks like any kind of ski lift that you would see. He's got one of those like 20-foot skeletons that you've probably seen.
Yeah.
He built skis, so that skeleton is holding like 18-foot skis that are crossed like, in front of him. Like it's really impressive, and like I'm sure a ton of work went into it. So he puts our display to shame. But no, we've got a street like. We all contributed to $50. Like we have a massive fireworks show for 3 or 4 years now, and these guys, the dads, get so into it. And so
you're in a cul-de-sac, though, right?
No.
I thought you were in a cul-de-sac. Okay.
No, but so no, it's a big deal. There's we'll see how it goes with the baseball game and stuff tonight. But big fireworks show on the street at some point.
In the rain,
and then. I would think it'll get taken up by the weekend. I certainly don't expect that our display will last. Maybe tomorrow morning. I don't know, but yeah.
The Jeff Paterson I know will have that sucker down by noon tomorrow.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
I want the photo tomorrow morning,
possibly.
11:59.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough.
Thanks, buddy.
Enjoy it,
Put
Jeff.
it on the list here. Okay.
All right.
See you guys.
See ya.
All right.